We're on. Jonesy, how are we doing, lad? You all good?
How are we doing, Saul? Yeah, all good,
Yeah,
mate. How are you?
yeah, all good, mate. So, guys, welcome to another episode of Football News UK. I am Saul Millington. That is the one and only Sean Jones, and we're here to talk about Championship, League One, and League Two today. So, I'm sure Sean will echo what I'm going to say now, guys. We just want to thank you so much for all the subscribers so far, because obviously, you know, we can't believe how well the channel's sort of developed in such a short space of time, and all the feedback that we've been getting on YouTube, all the feedback that we've been getting on TikTok, whether it's Twitter. We're now going on Spotify now. Obviously, it's a bit of a podcast, so we can't thank you enough. So thank you so much for that. So what we're going to do today, guys, so just let you know what the structure of the episode's going to be. So we're going to start off with the Championship. Obviously, there was a game last night between Southampton and Sheffield Wednesday. And then what we're going to move on to League One, and then we're going to move on to League Two. We're going to discuss all the favourites, who's going to be up there, who's going to be down there in each divisions. And this will be going forward now on the channel as well, guys, where we're going to be doing the Football League coverage as well, alongside the Premier League coverage and also our European coverage as well. So, Jonesy, let's get cracking, mate. So, obviously, last night, Southampton, Sheffield Wednesday. So you've got two clubs really in the summer where Darren Moore's now left Sheffield Wednesday. And you've got also Southampton, who were relegated from the Premiership. How did you view the game last night? Southampton looked good from the clips that I've seen. Obviously, I was working last night, but you know they look like they dominated the game. Good start for the Saints. What are you saying, mate?
Yeah, I watched the game last night, mate, and I thought, Southampton did dominate the game. They had like 80% possession, which is expected, to be honest, from a team going down from the Premier League, and then Sheffield Wednesday obviously promoted from the playoffs, weren't they?
You were,
so, Southampton deserved to win the game. But at 1-0, mate, obviously, it's not put away, is it? Sheffield Wednesday, they stuck in there, and they were playing obviously counter-attacking football. I think the change that they did at half time helped. They put on a big man up front with a bit of pace. So that helped, with the long balls behind the defence, because Southampton were playing a high line last night. And I think that's what Russell Martin's going to do this season. I think he's that type of manager that wants to play that way. Which is good, but also, it can catch you out on the break, can't it? So, which Sheffield Wednesday did last night, but they brought on Che Adams, didn't they? So, who got the winning goal? So, I mean, he's obviously a talented player.
Very talented, right?
And obviously he was made up at the end there with the win. So it was a deserved win. But again, no game there is an easy game, is there, at Hillsborough?
No, honestly, mate, it's weird because the two clubs that played last night, really, in terms of stature, I mean, they're both Premier League clubs, aren't they? And guys, let us know what you think in the comments section as well. They're both Premier League clubs. Honestly, Sean, I've looked at the Championship table on my notes here, and the strength of the division this year is an absolute joke, mate. Like the size of the clubs. I mean, you run through it. You look at the likes of Birmingham. You look at the likes of Blackburn. You've got Cardiff in there. You've got Coventry making a re-emergence now. Huddersfield, who spent a couple of seasons in there. You've got Ipswich, who are a historical club with all the success. that they had under Bobby Robson back, all those years ago. You've got the likes of Middlesbrough that, obviously in the 90s, and under Steve McLaren, they were successful.
You've got Sunderland as well. Yeah, Sunderland as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Big shout out to the Black Cats, by the way, guys. I made up that Sunderland are back in the Premier League. That's amazing. You've got
not in the Premier League; they're in the Championship.
Championship. Sorry, it's Championship. Sorry,
not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Anyway, but buzzing that. Like you got Watford, West Brom, Swansea, Stoke. It's like you got Preston, who are an historical club, QPR. Honestly, it's
the
ridiculous.
List goes on, mate. The list goes on, doesn't it? I mean, you've got, like you say, you've got some big teams in there, big, historic teams. The Championship's never easy to get out of, is it?
No.
Very, very difficult league. I mean, look at Norwich last season. To be honest, I put them down to come straight back up, but it's like it's not easy, is it? It's not easy at all.
No, I mean, obviously, you've got like Leeds as well who've gone down as well. I mean, I must admit, Sean, obviously concentrating on the game last night for a little bit with Southampton, it's like, I always believe Southampton are a well-run club, aren't they? I mean, I know they've had a lot of sort of instability this last couple of, especially this last 12 months, obviously, with the managerial situation. But to be fair, mate, under Russell Martin and stuff like that, and with the infrastructure that they've got, the club, Southampton have always been great at bringing players through. That's a given that they're always going to do that. So
they've just got a good academy, haven't they? They've got a great academy, haven't they? So they've done that all over the years. So
absolutely. I mean, and I think Southampton. I'd be very shocked if Southampton were outside the top 10 this year, Sean, to be brutally honest with you. Sheffield Wednesday, I think it's going to be very much a consolidation season. Obviously, they've had Wednesday are a funny club, aren't they? They're a massive club, but I think, like, in the past couple of seasons, it's been it's been. They've been up and down. Darren Moore did an amazing job there, mate, to be fair.
That's what I was going to say, mate. Like, I was so shocked that he actually went,
I mean, Darren Moore, mate. I mean, obviously he was an honest player, but I was very impressed with the job he did at Sheffield Wednesday, Sean, to be honest with you. I think he came in there when he was in league. Obviously, they went down to League One. They came back. Obviously, and I think he did an amazing job. I mean, it's funny, and Sheffield Wednesday fans, let us know what you think about this. But I read some comments from Sheffield Wednesday fans last year saying they played some unbelievable football. I mean, you look at that playoff game against Peterborough at the end of last season, where they got absolutely hammered away to Peterborough, mate.
In the first leg,
got them back to Hillsborough and absolutely mullered them. So, it just proves it. So obviously, great start for Southampton. Unfortunate for Sheffield Wednesday, Sean. Sean, I just want to move on to, and this is for all the Leicester City fans out there. So, Leicester, then, mate. Obviously, last season, disastrous season, mate. I think it is to put it bluntly, isn't it? Obviously there's been a lot of sales this year. Maddison was a given that he was going to go to sort of a Premier League club of some sort. What your feelings on Leicester this season, mate? I'm going two ways with it in a way, mate, where I think it could work either way. I think they could either do a Norwich and come straight back up. Obviously, when you've got the parachute payments and everything like that. But I've also got a funny feeling, mate, that everything's not well at Leicester. I mean, I was reading some comments from Leicester City fans, and obviously Leicester fans, let us know what you think in the comments section. about the way the team's looking at the minute, and the way the club is. What do you see for them going forward?
Well, Leicester are actually favourites to go back up.
Yeah,
Obviously, they've just brought in a new manager, haven't they, from City,
yeah,
Enzo Maresca.
brilliant
So
appointment, mate. Yeah,
obviously, Dean Smith obviously left at the end of the season, didn't he?
yeah,
Um, and like you say, they've just lost Madison, and Harvey Barnes has gone to Newcastle, hasn't he?
yeah,
Which is obviously big losses. I'm just looking at the players that they've brought in. They've brought in Connor Cody. They've brought in Harry Winks.
yeah.
And they've brought in that Steffi Madididi. I can't even pronounce his name now.
Yeah, but
Mavididi from Montpellier. So
yeah, yeah, but I tell you what, though, Jonesy, I tell you something now. Harry Winks is a brilliant signing. I generally do think that, mate, because the thing is, right, he's been playing at Spurs. He's been playing at Spurs for various years, mate, not going anywhere in his career. Blatantly obvious to see that he was getting in the Spurs side. I mean, I'm right in saying that Wink's got an England call up, aren't I? And
yeah, he
and,
did.
and
Yeah.
basically, mate, he's just not fulfilled any of his potential. I think this season's going to be massive for Harry Winks, mate. I think he needs to get in there, and I think he needs to basically boss Leicester's midfield. Um, you know,
Well, that's it. I think he's. For me, what my opinion of Harry Winks when I've seen him play for obviously Spurs,
yeah.
I think he is at his level now in the Championship.
Okay, that's
For
an
me,
interesting one.
I
Yeah.
that's my opinion of him.
Okay.
I don't think he's that great. I
Yeah.
don't. I was surprised he actually got an England call up. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think, like you say, obviously with losing players like Madison and they brought in Callum Doyle as well from Man City,
Yeah. Yeah.
who's a good up, on loan this season, on a season long loan. So
Yeah.
he's an interesting signing.
Yeah.
Obviously, players again that they've lost. They've lost Tielemans, haven't they?
Yeah.
Soyuncu's gone to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Jose Perez has left.
Hey,
He's
Jones,
only
on that, mate, Soyuncu is the most Simeone signing that you could ever make, isn't he? Do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
he
That is the
is.
most Diego Simeone signing that could ever happen. I mean, to be fair, I think they've had to sort of let some players go to obviously recruit to obviously balance the books and everything. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of financial sort of instability coming down from the Premier League. However, they are going to get the parachute payments and everything, aren't they? From that, I mean, you look at it, Sean. Really, here. I mean, I've just got my notes here basically where you look at obviously Norwich, Leicester, Leeds. I mean, I suppose that most people think that it's a given that they're going to go straight back up, but I disagree. I mean, I look at
Well,
I
it's
look at the I look at. I mean, I want to touch on Stoke as well, mate. I mean, they've fallen well off, haven't they? This last
yeah,
couple of seasons. I mean, with all the good work that they did. All the good work that they did under sort of like Tony Pulis, obviously Mark Hughes had a little stint there, and I don't know what's gone wrong at Stoke in recent years, mate. But I think this season's going to be very, very interesting for them. I anticipate, mate, with Stoke this year that a top half finish has got to be the remit for them. What do you think
yeah.
about that, mate?
Well, they've been disappointing, haven't they, over the years?
Yeah,
They've always finished mid-table, haven't they? So
yeah,
they've. Obviously, like you just mentioned, then when they were in the Premier League, the players that they had there, mate. Teams didn't want to play there at the Britannia, did they, at the time?
no,
Because
No.
the players that they had, obviously, we remember Peter Crouch, the famous goal he scored against City.
Yeah.
The famous Rory Delap throw as well,
Yeah.
which Arsenal didn't like on a cold Tuesday night, did they?
No. What basically
Um,
where Rory Delap was from his own corner flag and still managed to throw it in the opposition box.
yeah, it was technically
Ridiculous,
like a
mate.
corner. It was technically a corner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think players would normally would rather put it out for a corner than a throw in, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah. I
When
mean,
when obviously Delap was playing, but
I mean,
yeah,
it's weird, mate,
so
isn't it?
yeah. I mean, it's interesting again, but like going back to Leicester again, mate. It could go either way, like you say, but they're going to find it very hard in the Championship, as Norwich City, obviously known.
Yeah.
Last season, it's it's difficult league to come back up to straight away. So it'd be an interesting season for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think obviously, I think the favourite. I mean, I think I want to touch on Leeds as well, Sean. Obviously, they brought Darren Farke in. Obviously, did an amazing job at Norwich, especially in
Yeah,
on a championship level. And it's amazing when we were talking about Harry Winks there, mate, as well, where you were talking about his level being the championship. Um, and Leeds fans, please comment on this with obviously with what I'm about to say, but. I truly believe, Sean, that Darren Farke is a championship manager. I do believe that. And I think it's been proven. I think tactically he's quite naive at times. I think it got proven in the Premier League where Norwich were just so open. They were just
yeah,
getting battered, mate, weren't they? Especially on the counter attack. And I hope he's learned from that, really. But I fully expect Leeds to be up there this season, mate. With that crowd behind him at Ellen Road, mate. With
oh
the
yeah,
away, with the away following that they take as well. I mean, I think Leeds fans are some of the best fans in the country. They are. Um,
yeah.
uh,
I
you know,
agree. I agree. Yeah.
they're absolutely unbelievable. So I fully expect
So
Leeds to be up. Go
it's
on, sorry, bro.
always difficult place to go, isn't it, Ellen Road? Um,
Yeah, definitely.
they've brought in some of the signings that they've signed. Efe Napadu from Chelsea,
Yeah,
good signing. Carl Darlow from Newcastle. They've got a new goalkeeper there. But a
yeah,
lot of, like I mean, a lot of players have just gone. You know, the likes
yeah,
of Rodrigo, Joel Robles, Brendan Aronson, the American.
yeah.
He looked quite good last season, and I don't know what happened with him.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, with Aronson, mate, I think the jury was out from Leeds fans. I mean, I remember doing a chat with Mitch on Leeds at the back end of last season, and yeah, the jury was out with a lot of players. Obviously, with Leeds as well, Sean, they've got this takeover talk going on in the background. I'd imagine that's going to, cause some instability as well. So I think Leeds need to get things off the field sorted out, and I think once they get the off-field stuff sorted with that crowd behind them, Sean, honestly, that
yeah,
is not that's not a nice place to go,
it's
Ellen Road, mate. It's really, really not.
it's
It's
very hostile, isn't it?
oh yeah,
Hostile
I mean,
atmosphere,
oh yeah, when you
and
go there, mate, when you go there and that crowd get a whiff, mate, of that they can get on your case, mate, they're on you like that. So that's going to be
yeah,
very interesting. I mean, I must admit, Jonesy, as well, moving on, a bit of nostalgia sort of kicked in when I was looking at this championship table, mate. And what I mean by that is some of the clubs that we're looking at, you look at the likes of Coventry City, who were sort of like regularly in a relegation battle in the Premiership in the 90s under Gordon Strachan. You look at Ipswich Town, like I mentioned before at the start of the show, where you'd like, they've got that real historical element to them. A big club as well. Obviously, it'd be great as well. Ipswich fans, let us know how you think your season's going to go this year. I mean, that's. I mean, the Ipswich Norwich derby, mate, is absolutely brilliant, mate. I mean, that's a proper good derby. That is. You've got, you know. Um, obviously Millwall, that's, for many different reasons. We've got to be diplomatic, obviously, on the show, but to say that's not a nice place to go would probably be an understatement.
Oh yeah,
You've got, you know,
absolutely.
you've got Rotherham, and I'd be very, very interested to see what's going on at West Brom this season as well, Sean. That'll be really, really interesting. Are they going to be up there? Are they going to be competing? So I think we're in a for a really, really interesting season regarding the Championship, mate. So on that, before we move over to League One, let's do our predictions to win the league then, Sean. What are you saying? Who are you going for?
Uh, I'm gonna stick with Leicester, mate.
You're
I'm
going to
gonna
stick with
stick with
Leicester?
Leicester to
Yeah,
get promoted.
yeah,
Um, I think Leicester second place. Second place. I'm gonna go with obviously the signings so far that they've made. Um, I'm gonna go for. It's easy though, isn't it? Like to say Southampton because obviously the promoted teams have gone up, but
yeah,
obviously the other teams also have strengthened as well.
yeah.
Um, I'm going to say Leeds. I'm going to say
You-
Leeds.
You're going to say Leeds, yeah? Leeds,
Yeah,
happy days. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically going to go. I mean, obviously, three teams go up, don't they? Two automatic and
yeah,
one with the
one
playoff.
on the playoffs. Yeah,
So
yeah,
so it's not a lazy sort of like prediction, mate. But I'm gonna go for Leicester and Leeds to go up in the top two, um, and then do you know what, mate? I'm gonna go for. Do you know what I'm gonna go for? West Brom as well, and I think the surprise package um, this year is going to be Sunderland. I really, really do, mate. It's fantastic to see him get back up to at least
yeah,
the second tier of English football. I mean, we're going on about hostile places there, Jonesy, as well. Like, mate, when the Stadium of Light's rocking as well, that is like
yeah,
that's not a
yeah.
nice place to go as well. So that's going to be interesting.
Well, now
Guys,
you've mentioned third place. Coming to playoffs. I'm going to go for Middlesbrough, mate.
you're going to go for
I'm gonna
Middlesbrough.
go for Middlesbrough. I think Michael Carrick is doing an amazing job there, isn't he? To be
Well,
honest with you.
yeah, I think Jonesy as well. I think if you watched him as a player, he had a great temperament on the field, and it seems to me like he's got a great temperament off it. Obviously, sort of a local lad as well, with obviously growing up in that area. Um,
Yeah,
I think he's gone into Middlesbrough, mate. Obviously, he's had that exposure, hasn't he, from learning from the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson. Working under, excuse me, like Louis Van Gaal, and everything like that.
yeah.
And he seemed to me like he's when you watch him in press conferences, Carrick, um, he seems to be like a sponge, mate. Comes across really, really well, and I think Middlesbrough fans can be very, very excited. Middlesbrough fans, let us know what you think in the
Yeah.
comment section.
Well, they finished
Obviously,
fourth. They finished fourth last season, didn't they, in the playoffs? So,
well, this,
I think he's just going to learn from his experience last season, isn't he, and continue
yeah,
at that level. So, I'm
yeah,
going to go for Middlesbrough, mate,
okay.
to win in the playoffs.
Okay, interesting. So, guys, all Championship fans, let us know what you think in the comment section. Obviously, we're going to be moving on to League One now, guys. Just to let you know today as well, we're going to be doing some shorts throughout today as well. Obviously, with the season obviously coming up and everything, and results coming in and everything like that. So yeah, today's going to be a great day. So me and Jonesy are going to be all hands to the pump today, but we wouldn't want it any other way, would we, mate? So that's the way it's got to.
Got to keep the shorts coming, haven't we? So
yeah, that's it. And like I say, guys, as well, just to let you all know, we're quite a diverse show as well. It's not always going to be about Real Madrid and all the big clubs on this show. We want to get obviously the football league involved as well, and we're passionate about the lower leagues as well. So on that, Sean, we're now going to move on to League One. So I think it'll be convenient to start off at Derby County. Okay, so obviously it's been quite a traumatic sort of time for Derby as a club, hasn't it? They've not really sort of hit the heights that people were expecting. There's been a lot of instability there, obviously with the ownership and everything like that. What do you see for the season ahead regarding Derby, mate? I think there's still some major rebuilding, some major surgery to be done there, isn't there?
There is. Obviously, Paul Warne is there, isn't he? The manager in charge. Favourites to win League One this season. So that's added pressure again, isn't it, for Derby County? And again, mate, a huge club, aren't they?
Massive club, mate.
Remember them when they used to be in the Premier League those years ago. And it's a shame. It's a shame how fallen they've gone, really. Personally, I would love to see him back in the Premier League. Just looking at the players that they've brought in again. They've brought in a few players: Connor Washington, Kane Wilson, Darren Robinson, Josh Vickers, Curtis Nelson. A lot of players gone out as well. James Chester, he was obviously been released, and Richard Stearman, they've been released as well. They've been Premier League, experienced players there, haven't they? Over the years. David McGoldrick's gone as well. He's actually gone to. Did he go to Notts County?
Yeah,
he went. I think he's gone to Notts County, hasn't he? We'll talk about them in League Two, but Christian Bielik as well. He was an Arsenal player at one point. Sold to Derby. For 10, I think it was £10 million. It was a lot of money for him because he was highly regarded. But he's gone. Obviously, they finished 7th last season, didn't they? 1 point off the playoffs. So, which is obviously disappointing, really, for them, isn't it? So,
it is, mate. I mean, I'm looking at some of the clubs here, Sean. I mean, like it's again, even in this division, mate, it's unbelievable, really. I mean, it's like you look at Barnsley. All right, they only had one season in the Premier League in the '90s, but they're still a reasonably sized club. You look at Blackpool, you look at Bolton, Bristol Rovers. You look at the likes of Charlton, Derby, obviously we were talking about now. You've got Oxford United, you've got Portsmouth, Reading, Wigan. Mate, I think in League One this year it's going to be very, very exciting.
That's another team as well, isn't it? That's another team, Wigan. How far they've fallen as well.
Yeah, I mean, what I've got from when I was doing my notes, obviously for the show today, Sean, is, I mean, and obviously in football, you always end up where you deserve to be, don't you? And I think what a lot of clubs in League One represent is basically bad ownership. You look at Portsmouth; they definitely they fall into that category. Obviously, the Milan
Yeah,
Mandaric era and everything like that when he was in the Premier League, and basically everything didn't go right there. Too much money spent in Harry Redknapp's second reign in charge, and obviously it's resulted in this. You look at Blackpool; it's been it's been well publicised. Obviously, they've had financial struggles there. Bolton definitely fall into that category. But
yeah,
no, it's going to be a very, very interesting season in League One, mate. I mean, I must admit, Oxford United, Sean, they had a manager called Carl Robinson last year.
yeah. Remember him?
He's now doing a lot of punditry work on Talk Sport. But I was very, very disappointed it didn't work out for him there going forward, because I'm a big fan of him. Mate. He's done. He did a magnificent job at MK Dons in his first job in management. Didn't work out for him at Charlton when he went there. Went to Oxford, mate, and did an absolutely amazing job. And I just think it was a real shame it didn't work out there. But so, in terms of who we're fancying, mate, obviously um, to be promoted, what do you think? I mean, it's difficult, really, to go away from Derby, isn't it? And Derby
Well,
fans,
yeah.
let us know what you think in the comment section. I mean, I'm going to go for Derby to win the league, Sean. There, to be honest.
Well, again, they're favourites to win. Derby
Yeah,
County are favourites to win. So, but again, it doesn't always work out that way, does it? But
no,
um, for obviously the how big the club is, obviously Derby are favourites. But I'm gonna go for my top three as Derby first, Barnsley second, and Bolton third.
yeah, it's not a bad shout, mate, because Barnes,
That's
yeah,
my predictions for League One anyway
yeah,
this season.
yeah. I think the top three, mate. I'm gonna go for Bolton to win it. I'm gonna go for
Yeah,
Derby to get promoted, and I'm gonna go for Barnsley, and fancy Portsmouth as a surprise package, mate. I do.
Portsmouth. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is as well. I
okay.
mean, with Portsmouth in the playoffs as well, Sean. Get that Fratton Park crowd behind you, mate. I mean, they've got some of the best fans in the country,
Again,
mate,
yeah,
haven't they? They're
big. Yeah,
absolutely.
their support is amazing.
Oh,
Like
mate,
absolutely
got that big guy in the stands, haven't they, with the long hair, jigging his bell, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, yeah.
it's amazing, mate. So I think,
For such
mate,
a small ground, it's just an
yeah,
amazing atmosphere, and
yeah,
hopefully one day for the show we may go there one day.
yeah,
You know,
definitely. So on that, Sean, that's a good point that you bring up. So, guys, just to let you know, so obviously, me and Sean respect our retrospective teams. Obviously, with Sean with Arsenal, me with the Silks in Mark. So obviously, it's we want to go and watch our teams, but with the channel now, we're going to be doing our utmost to get around the country this coming season and make sure that we cover games, and we get involved with you,
yeah,
the fans, as well. So, League One fans, let us know what you think in the comment section. Obviously, where do you see your teams coming this season? Is your team on the brink of maybe edging into the playoffs after last year, or can you see your team coming mid-table? Please let us know in the comment section. And as the season
yeah.
goes through, we'll be covering obviously League One a lot as the season goes through. So, Sean, that's the Championship and League One boxed off. Let's move on to League Two. So, again, mate, in this division, it's amazing, isn't it? Like, you look at some of the teams in here as well, and I think the only place to start will be at Wrexham. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, the ownership situation there has been an absolute godsend to Wrexham, hasn't it? Really.
But what a story! What a story! I mean,
What start?
you wouldn't quite believe it, would you? A few years
No,
ago, and
I
these
mean,
two come in.
Yeah, I mean, I must give a big shout out to Wrexham fans. Any Wrexham fans, if you're watching, um, down the years, I've seen you's come to obviously our ground. You know, whether we was in the National League or, you know, obviously when we was on the verge of liquidation or back in the old like League Two days. And I must admit, Wrexham fans are absolutely brilliant. They follow the team pretty much everywhere, really, and I don't know, Sean. Really, I you see, Wrexham seem to me, mate, that they're in a strong position, really, to not only just consolidate themselves in League Two, Sean, but I think there's a big possibility with the finances that they've got behind them, that they could end up, you know, maybe sneaking in the playoffs or potentially going on to win the league. What do you think?
Well, yeah, like you say, with the money that they've got, I mean, I don't think any other team can compare with that, can they?
No,
Can compete
no,
with the money that Wrexham have.
yeah,
I just seen the other day that they've just signed James McLean as well. I mean,
yeah,
that's a big sign. That's a big signing for Wrexham, isn't it?
yeah. It's a massive
Um,
signing, mate.
they've
Yeah,
I think as well the favourites to win it in the
yeah,
bookies at the minute.
yeah,
Wrexham are the favourites to win. So again, it's never easy. Again, the football league is very difficult to get
yeah,
promoted
yeah,
to, and
yeah. I mean,
if you finish first, if you get promoted, then obviously it's fully deserved. But for me, I think Wrexham will get promoted with the regards with the money that they've got coming into the club. Obviously, the
yeah,
owners who they are, but
yeah,
again, it's not going to
yeah.
be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. But that's my opinion anyway.
No, definitely not. I mean, I must admit as well. Basically, you know, you're looking at some of the clubs in there as well. I mean, obviously you've got Salford as well, Sean, who were backed by Gary Neville. Stockport are a club who've got massive momentum now, mate, haven't they? You know, Stockport made a real big
Yeah.
re-emergence. I mean, County fans, let us know what you think in the comment section about where you're going at the minute.
Well, again,
Is it
they
still
could be favourites
on
as
an
well.
upward curve,
They
or
could be favourites
say
to
again?
win.
Sorry.
Notts County as well. Notts County
Yeah,
as well, haven't you?
yeah.
You
I mean,
know.
you know. Yeah, I mean MK Dons, Sean. I mean, they're a big club at that level. You've got the likes of Gillingham. You've got, I mean, this is the one really, mate. Bradford as well, mate. I mean, they're a big club,
Another
aren't they?
big club, yeah.
Yeah,
But again,
I mean,
they
ni-
used to be in the Premier League years ago. So,
yeah,
you know,
99, 99 2000 season, mate. Obviously, they stayed up on that famous last day against Liverpool, didn't they? When David Weatherall scored, and then obviously it kind of went downhill from there. Obviously, when Paul Jewell left, but yeah, Bradford are a great club, mate. I mean, I've been there twice following us, and their fans are absolutely amazing. I mean, when they came to our ground, always packed it out, and obviously, um, you know. At Valley Parade and that they always pack it out. So, yeah, I fully expect them to be up there. Obviously,
yeah,
we've got to give the local teams, Jonesy, a bit of a mention. So we'll start off with
that's
the Alex. With the Alex, obviously, Crew fans, let us know what you think in
Crew,
the
yeah.
comment section. Um,
Well, he's
what
a,
we think?
a manager. The manager Lee Bell obviously used to play for you, didn't he?
Yeah,
Macclesfield.
yeah, he did. He used to play. He used to actually play for both clubs. I mean, I loved Lee Bell when he played for us, but I think with the Alex, mate, it's kind of it's difficult at a club like that. I think, Sean, because there are restrictions, aren't there? Financial restrictions, obviously,
Yeah,
with the
of
way
course, yeah.
with the with the attendances that they get. Obviously, with Crew, what's always a certainty is, mate, that they're always going to bring players through. That's a given, isn't it? And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I fully expect them. But saying that, mate, see, with the Alex, in League Two, like especially over these last few years, because they've been up and down. it wouldn't surprise me if they made the playoffs, mate, to be quite honest with you. You know, with Crew, you will always get the same thing. They will always try and play good football because that's the philosophy that's gone through the club, hasn't it? Obviously, since
Yeah,
Dario Ferrari was there.
yeah.
What do you think regarding the Alex, mate? Where do you see them coming this year?
Well, I'd hope to see them promoted. You know, being a local
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
Um, but you know, over the last season, they didn't do that great, did they? They were mid-table.
yeah,
Um, they finished 13th last season with 58 points.
yeah,
Now, you know, they've got to improve on that, haven't they?
yeah,
Let's be
yeah,
honest. You
definitely.
know,
Yeah,
um, now if they do that or not, I'm just looking at the players that some of them have brought in. I mean, they've only brought in they've brought in a guy called Harvey Davis on loan from Liverpool.
yeah,
Um, Shilo Tracy on a free transfer.
yeah,
Jack Powell, Ryan Cooney, and Mickey Dimitri.
yeah,
So, to be
yeah,
honest, I don't know much about them, but you
yeah,
know, at least they're bringing in players, aren't they? Because you know,
yeah.
you get some clubs that don't really bring in anyone, do they? So, for
I
me,
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
go on.
it's strange, mate, as well because it's like, you know, with like you've got the likes of sort of like Newport. That's not an easy place to go, mate. You've got Mansfield. I mean, I know from my experience going to Mansfield watching us, that's not an easy place to go, especially when the crowd get behind him and stuff like that. So mate, again, it's going to be a very very exciting season in the in League Two, mate, isn't it? You've got AFC Wimbledon, Tranmere Rovers, you've got Walsall. You know, it's just so many, mate. It's going to be a really really
Yeah,
exciting season in League Two again. So, Sean, on that then to round it up then for the predictions for League Two. So what we're saying, mate. So I'm going to go for the four to go up. I'm going to go for Wrexham, Notts County, and Bradford City to get promoted automatically. And do you know what, mate? I'm going to go for. I think Swindon could be the surprise package, mate.
Swindon.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
yeah,
I'm gonna go for Wrexham to win.
yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna go for Stockport second,
Okay,
and then I'll say Notts County third.
okay. Who do you think? Who do you think going through the playoffs, mate? What do you think?
Playoffs. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say Bradford.
Bradford. Yeah, it's a good shout,
Yeah,
mate. Okay, so
yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay, so guys, that pretty much concludes our show today. Really, where we've covered obviously everything through from the Championship to League Two. Like we said at the start of the show, me and Sean are really, really excited for this coming season. Obviously, not just in the Premier
absolutely.
League, European football. Um, we've got obviously all the football league to tackle as well, which we're really
Yeah,
looking forward to. Um, Throughout today, obviously, because it being the sort of like first day of the season, we're going to be doing some shorts and everything like that, and you're keeping you updated on the scores and everything, getting to know your thoughts. But guys, can't thank you enough for all the support that you've given us so far. Make sure that you
hmm
like and subscribe if you already haven't already. Me and Sean have got Glasgow coming up on Monday, which we're absolutely
yeah.
buzzing
We
about.
can't
So
wait for that, can we?
can't wait for that
So
today. Obviously, go on,
make
Sean.
sure you
Sorry.
tune in. Make sure you tune into the channel because obviously we're going to vlog it. So you know we're going to take you guys with us as well. And then we're going to go to your place, aren't we? Macclesfield Town.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
with the
So,
first game of the season is away, isn't it? So
it is indeed. So obviously we start our Northern Premier League journey at Bradford Park Avenue a week on Saturday. So join us for that. I'll be driving down obviously to the game, so we'll do a bit of a vlog and everything like that. So again, guys, this football channel is very diverse. It's not just going to be about the Champions League, the Premier League. We're interested in everything football, especially the Football League. So guys, please make sure that you tune in, because we're really pleased with how this channel is going, and we really do appreciate your interaction as well. So what we'll do as well, after Glasgow, we will be doing a bit of some previews as well. Obviously, before the Premier League starts, obviously a week on Saturday, obviously, which everyone's very excited about. We've got obviously we're looking to get a studio as well, guys, within the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks. A month at a push set up, so obviously we can start doing some analysis on games and everything from a tactical side of the game and everything like that, so we can get really in depth. So guys, it's really exciting times for the channel. We're absolutely buzzing with it. So we know you're all.
Thank you all, guys, enough. I mean,
it's been amazing.
We've said this before in our videos, but the fact that we've just started doing this channel, and we've already got over 100 subscribers on YouTube is absolutely amazing. We couldn't have asked anything better, could we, Saul? So
no, definitely.
Thank you so much for that. And you never know, we might actually bump into you in a football game. You never know.
We do. And like I said, when we go to different games as well, guys, we just want you to know as well that we're going to be looking to interact with you as well. So get some obviously interviews done outside the ground about what your teams, how they've done this season, what you're expecting, everything like that. So absolutely
reactions after the game, and just have a good chat about football, isn't it? So that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Right, Jonesy, I'm happy with that. Are you happy, my friend?
Absolutely. Yeah.